Because that transformation of our mind, in which we have decided to alter our association of what appears to be a figure of space-time, all right? We're going to attempt now to do it within this organization of this, what is it, Sunday here? Yeah. Have you come into this place and time with me? May I come and sit down with you for a moment? Look with me. I have an idea that together you and I have decided to increase frequencies of exchanges of locations within space-time, where the idea of an alteration of ourself, within the mysticism of the possibility of organization. Say to me, idea.
Idea.
Okay. I have an idea now of why you intend to be here with me in the reflection of light by which we have attempted to identify ourselves within the memory that we brought with us but can't seem to recall when we came in here and sat down. Now, here's what we're going to attempt to do. Okay, will you join me with this then, if we're going to try to do it? The answer is yes, I may use this if I choose. Here, I'll show you. Yeah. Just for a moment, I'm going to put on the idea that I'm going to appear in a physical body formulation and offer you an alternative within my mind that will be a notation of the possibility that contained within you and the idea of the power of the decision that you can make is a memory, all right, of coming in at this time and place to this situation. I'm going to teach you now. I'm going to attempt to instruct you in an idea that there's an alternative of organization of the time element of my mind in coming alive, coming from darkness to light, and not being afraid, come on, to lose what I thought was necessary within the space-time location in which I had found myself. Say to me one more time, say it. In consciousness, conscience, the idea of consciousness of your mind. Say to me, idea.
Idea.
Now, here's the principle of the practice of the power of light in the discrimination of how you term lightness in relationship with darkness. All right? The only manner in which I can assume an idea of a title of myself with a definition of why I would come into this arrangement, all right, is the idea that the place that I am now occupying has all of the elements that are necessary, although at the time that I come here, I don't seem to be able to remember them. This is the idea of the consciousness of the human body identity within the entire relative idea of the conversion of molecular idea of energy association within the power of his mind to discriminate. He brings with him a story line about an idea of himself that for some reason searches within its mind for the purpose in which it is located here. I'm going to take 6 minutes, and it's going to take that long in the idea of the conversion of the successful application of your individual awakening from the dream sequence that you're in, all right? And the dream sequence that you're in, now, as you look at the conversion of your mind in the possibility that you are coming from death to life. Now, what I'm going to remind you of is a memory that's very much in your mind, and it's the reason that you came out here to this idea that it's necessary for you to admit to the capacity within you to change your mind about the space-time that you're in. Have you been reasonably successful at it? Of course. How did you get into this sequence of time with me unless somewhere you were successful at being reminded of a very old memory that you have about yourself? There it is, thank you. Where when you look out and get a momentary reflection of light, rather than holding on to it and setting up a parameter of relationship of light and darkness, you let it go. Because within you is a memory of a maturity, of a consciousness of mind that has a factoring in it of a storyline that we can tell each other. You listen with me. I'm going to read you just a little bit about the greatest story that you will ever hear in this idea of memory. Will you listen with me? Okay? This is a place that you came to. Now, what about what appeared to be the reflections of light that were out there in the chaos of their mind? I have no concern about them. All I'm reminding you of is that the power of decision, with the admission of a singular reality, is one that you have already acknowledged to me. In that idea of this interlude that we just performed here, and I assure you that we did, all we're doing is reminding each other of the success we encountered within the generations of ideas of alteration of ourself. There you are in a bright new idea of yourself. Now, my recognition of myself, all right, is the idea that finally the self that we are is singular. The self that I am representing to you at this time is yourself. Say to me, I'm going to be myself.
I'm going to be myself.
That was the lesson you were given on Wednesday, weren't you? You were given the idea that the necessity is for me to remember within my own mind about this possibility. Let's go back and look at some dialogue that we had an exchange with each other where we found moments of agreement only to lose them. Okay, only to lose them. They're somewhere in my mind. I have to decide that I want the change that's going on in my mind so that the change that is going on in my mind will not be held in the idea that I have to locate myself within the fabric of my mind. You listen with me. Listen. I'll be still for an instant. I'm going to be still, and I'm going to go home. This world that you seem to live in is not home to you, is it? And you know it. Somewhere in your mind, you know that what we are telling you now is true. There's a memory of home that keeps haunting you, as if there were a place that called you to return, although you do not recognize the voice, nor what it is the voice reminds you of. Yet still, you feel an alien here, from somewhere all unknown. Nothing so definite that you would say with certainty you're an exile here. It's just a persistent feeling sometimes not more than a tiny throb within the idea of the energy of your mind. At other times, hardly remembered, actively dismissed as not important, but surely to return to your mind again.